Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining today. If you have any questions during the demonstration today, if we can just put them in the chat or the Q&A section, and we'll answer them at the end of the demonstration. So just moving on to the next slide, showing our agenda for today. We'll start off with introductions, and then I'll do a bit on Codec, who we are. And David, my colleague, is going to do the demonstration of Business Central, connection of Dynamics Business Central with the wider Microsoft ecosystem, and then how to move to Dynamics Business Central from an on-prem application such as GP or NAV, and then ending with how we can provide support for your Business Central environment. So starting with introductions, I'm Laura Gilbank, Codec Sales Lead across UK and Ireland. I've been working with Dynamics since 2009, helping several businesses across various industries to grow and transform. And I'm joined by my colleague David Wyke, who is the Practice Lead at Codec across UK and Ireland as well, and has extensive experience in delivering digital transformation and business change projects using Microsoft technology. He specialises in large, complex projects across various sectors, public sector, charity, NGOs, professional services, retail and manufacturing, and has a background in finance with over 10 years of accounting experience.
It's quite the introduction, isn't it?
I know, exactly. So just a little bit about Codec. We are the largest independent Microsoft partner in Ireland with over 39 years of experience in delivering solutions to clients across various industries and sectors. We have a very talented team of 300 employees, including 3 MVPs, which stands for Most Valuable Professional, of certified and experienced consultants, developers, project managers, and support staff who can help you with every stage of your ERP project. Our head office is in Dublin. We also have offices in Belfast and opened our UK office last year. We're one of the most awarded and certified specialists in Microsoft partners in Europe, including winning Ireland's Microsoft Country Partner of the Year in 2023 last year, and also winning the D365 Partner of the Year 11 times previously. So these accolades show our commitment to delivering excellence for our customers. And then moving on, we are an end-to-end digital transformation partner across the full Microsoft stack. We're the only partner in Ireland that has all 7 Microsoft partner certifications and only 1 in 13 in the UK market out of 2,600 other Microsoft partners. Again, this demonstrates our technical capabilities, experience, and ability to deliver successful outcomes aligned to the Microsoft cloud. And this is underpinned by our ISO and ITIL certifications as well. And I'll hand over to you, David.
Fantastic. Let me take over and I'll screen share and we'll jump into product. Laura, can you see my screen okay?
Yes, I can.
Excellent, fantastic. So we'll do a quick introduction to what Business Central is, and we'll try and do a whistle-stop tour, but mainly focusing on some of the new features that have been released this year, and particularly Copilot, and we'll also look at some of the integration touch points with the wider Microsoft stack. So an enterprise resource planning or ERP system is a software solution that integrates and automates various business processes of finance with purchasing, sales, inventory, manufacturing, and more into a unified solution, essentially giving you one single view of an organization. Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central, it's a bit of a mouthful, I might just refer to it as Business Central today, formerly known as NAV on Navision, as Microsoft's ERP solution. So it's their offering. It was actually named the best ERP system by Forbes in 2024, and it's used by over 160,000 customers. Kind of shows you, how embedded it is as an ERP solution. So what we'll jump into, as I say, we've got the product open here. So instantly you'll notice that I'm in a web browser-based application. So Business Central is available as an on-premise solution or as a SaaS, a software as a service cloud platform. This allows you to work wherever your business takes you with full capabilities on desktop, tablet, mobile phone device, and that's across Windows, Android, iOS. So you get that consistent experience across all the different devices. So it's really a neat tool to be able to work with anywhere. Personally, my recommendation would always to be try and opt for the SaaS solution, as it allows organizations to move away from maintaining costly infrastructure like servers, etc. And it's also wrapped in that Microsoft leading security features, and it receives twice yearly automatic updates. So you'll never be on an out-of-date version of the product. So you'll never need to undergo expensive or costly updates again, as you're always going to be on that latest version of the product. So I'm going to dive in now. So first thing to note is Business Central is a role-based experience. So currently I'm logged in as an accountant, and my profile shows me the key metrics and activities corresponding to my role. Different profiles can be assigned to different users, which change that user experience. As you would imagine, an accountant's profile is geared towards finance activities such as reporting, tax returns, bank reconciliations, etc. Sales order processor is another type of role which is going to be geared towards sales activities and warehouses. And I'll show you very quickly. Here we can see on my front screen, all my metrics here are geared towards finance activities. I've got things like the bank account balances, overdue documents, etc. And we'll explore these more in a moment. If I just very quickly jump into a different profile, let's see how this experience changes. So let's pick on, let's say, sales order processor as an example. This will reload the page. So my landing screen or my splash screen, the home page of Microsoft Dynamics, is going to now be geared towards sales activities. So you can see here, I've got things around like sales quotes, sales orders that are ready to ship. As an example, see some reporting based on my customers. So very much a user-based, a role-based activity. Now, the role itself doesn't dictate what you can and can't do in the application. There's things called permissions that manage what level of access you have. And those can be essentially handed down to individuals or to individual roles. So you can sign into user groups. Again, just really helpful way of managing what people can and can't do in the application. So that's kind of an initial introduction of this product. What I'm going to do is kind of touch on some of the key features. So here we can see from the role screen, role center, we can see these key metrics. You'll see these are flow fields, what we call in the application. So we can click on these and they're going to provide us more information. So for example, I've got multiple bank accounts. Let's see what the individual balances are of each account. So I click on that 26k value that was presented to me. I can then see the individual bank accounts and their current balances, which is incredibly useful. Again, purchase documents due today. So we've got these turquoise tiles. We call them visual cues in Dynamics. These can again tell us the key metrics of what we have going on within our business that day. So currently I've got 13 overdue documents. I can click on that and it's going to show me the 13 individual documents, and I can navigate from them and drill down further if I want to. So from an audit trail perspective, it's very useful. These visual cues can be customized, so we can put on visual cues that are relevant to you, and we can also traffic light them. As you can see up here, I've got this is marked red currently because I've got overdue documents. It's different color coding, etc. can be applied. Just going to scroll down and touch on a couple more points here. So what you'll notice is on this front screen, again, we've got some lovely insights going on here, some business performance reports, even down to I actually have a Power BI report embedded within the application. So again, just something to note, Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central is part of this wider Microsoft ecosystem that includes Power BI, Power Apps, Power Platform, etc. And they all seamlessly integrate with each other. So if you build a Power BI report based on either information that's held in Business Central or maybe on a different data source, that Power BI report can be surfaced within Business Central. So I could publish this to my front screen. I could, kick it all the way to the top, which is quite useful. Something to note that Laura's already touched on, as Codec are a full stack partner for capabilities that spread the entire stack of Microsoft products. We can assist you with the likes of Power BI report creation, or if you start building Power Apps. So quite uniquely placed within the marketplace. We're not, ERP people that are dabbling at things that maybe aren't our expertise. We've got people who do, Power BI reporting day in, day out. So it just uniquely positions Codec to be able to support your organization. what we'll see here is very quickly before I move on to the new Copilot features is everything here I'm geared towards finance. If I want to actually do any additional activities, if it's not on this front screen, I've got two options for me. I've got typed search. So for example, maybe I work with sales orders on a regular basis. As I type in, it will filter through my various pages and tasks. For example, if I've got sales in there, you'll see I've got a lot more options. But as I type in more, those options are reduced, and you see sales orders here. Perhaps the sales orders is something I work with on a regular basis. So why don't I bookmark this to the front of the page? And what we'll see now is this will be added to my role center. So if I just click on the expanded view here with more options, we'll now see I have sales order as something that's pinned to my front screen. So I don't have to search for it every time. Alternatively, I can click on the hamburger menu, which is going to take me to the menu suite of the application. It's going to initially take me to the finance aspect because I'm in as an accountant, so I can see all the things that are involved of being an accountant. But again, I can choose explore more roles. And this segues nicely into, what's the breadth of functionality with Microsoft Dynamics Business Central. So you can see here we've got purchasing, sales, manufacturing, projects, finance, etc. So we kind of cover that full width. So if you think about what Business Central does, you're going to have all the finance and accounting functionality that you would expect. You're going to have, your general ledger, all of your sub ledgers, your AP, your AR, accounts payable, accounts receivable. You can have fixed assets that's fully integrated with the general ledger, etc. Budgeting the works. Then you're going to have your purchasing and sales module, so full requisition management, quote creation through to orders, receipting and shipping, depending on whether it's purchasing and sales. So you've got then full supply chain as well, so you can do requisition management, project management as well, something that you see on a regular basis. If people running projects, they can actually maintain them within Business Central and actually have an updated WIP calculation. So as the project progresses, the accounting entries are going to flow into the application. And we've got manufacturing and service management. But as always with any ERP finance solution, finance is the hub of that entire application. Everything flows towards finance. If anyone has any desires to see more of these individual modules, we can arrange a follow-up demo following today's session. Something else to be aware of as well, just to kind of scene set, is we have extensions within the application. I'm going to show you extension marketplace. So the solution is extensible. And what do I mean by that? Essentially, there is over 5,000 Microsoft approved applications built by independent software vendors or ISVs, you might hear the term, which essentially allows you to add on and enhance Business Central beyond its standard code set. Essentially, these can be industry-specific vertical alignments, or they can be simple things such as, some of the tools that I'll mention in a moment that kind of improve day-to-day usage of the application and kind of give some excellent benefits. For example, we work with a whole host of products and we're certified to deliver them. Some of my favorites are the Continue product suite. So we have things like Continue Expense Management, which is an expense management add-on that integrates directly with Business Central. So it allows your end users to have an expense management app installed on their mobile phone, snap receipts on the go, and be able to choose expense types based on what's been configured in Business Central with appropriate expense policies. Those expenses go for approval, and once approved, they're going to post into Business Central, so you get that reduction of effort. No one's rekeying information in. Another really neat tool as well is Continue Doc Capture, which is an OCR tool or an optical character recognition tool, which automates the input of purchase invoices. So it screen scrapes the invoices and pushes them into Business Central, so no one's manually keying AP invoices in. It even does things like three-way matching, which is a really neat tool. We also work with a host of other products. In particular, we've got things like Solver, which is an FP and A, so financial planning and analysis reporting add-in, just essentially adds further fidelity to Business Central standard functionality, and Tasklet Factory, which is a WMS handheld devices that integrate with Business Central. So if you've got warehouse operatives, maybe you're a goods-based organization, you can do registering of picks and putaways and shipments and receipts direct within the application. And that's going to be doing it from a warehouse operative on the floor, and it's going to be updating Business Central. But for today's demonstration, we'll be focusing on some of the more recent features. So I'm just going to navigate back to the application. And in particular, we're going to look at Copilot. So Copilot's probably something that everyone's heard of recently, and there's a real big push on this. And, it's a very interesting space that we're in currently. For those who are less familiar, Copilot is an AI-powered assistant developed by Microsoft that is integrated into various products. It's included in Business Central at no extra cost, and you're starting to see it being rolled out to other product suites like Word, for example. If you need some assistance or coaching, it's there. So what is Copilot? So Copilot's designed to assist with generative AI, bots, and everyday questions within products, so serving as a helpful tool and a reminder. Microsoft Dynamics 365 Copilot specifically introduces AI directly into Business Central for assistance creating new workflows. So workflows are, tasks that you complete that could be, approvals or maybe just repetitive tasks. We also have it in use for late payment prediction. In fact, currently you can see it being flagged across the top of my screen around AI capabilities and cash flow forecasting, which can be very useful. Obviously that's going to factor in anyone who's a late payer when it's creating a cash flow forecast, or if we potentially maybe late payers ourselves, that could instantly be factored in. Additionally, Copilot offers features around sales and inventory forecasting, etc. So it's a really neat tool. But I'm going to focus on a couple of examples today of Copilot, just to give you an initial flavour of this. So first off, I'm going to jump into a sales order. And sales order that I've created on the fly here. Again, there might be a lot of white noise in this screen. It can be very much tailored to what you need within the application. So what we have here is we have our sales order for a Darton Corporation, where we can input our sales lines that we particularly want to sell to them. So these could be products or services. Now, recently we have the introduction of the suggest sales line. And this is essentially Copilot built into the application, and this is natural language use of AI. So you can actually type in what we want to happen. So for example, maybe the customer requires one desk and one swivel chair. As my company type up. As my company sells office furniture, if I choose the generate feature, this is going to look down my product set and find desk and a chair, a swivel chair in particular, if I've got different types of chairs, and it's going to suggest which services or which goods that I actually include. So again, this is just running the AI tool now. And again, apologies, it might take a moment. This is a pre-hydrated demo content for Microsoft, so it's not kind of as quick as it is in real life. You can see here it's actually gone through my product listing and it's found a desk, a chair, and I can choose to insert them. I could ask it to do something completely different, so I can actually tell it to do a different search, or I could discard the match completely. So if I choose insert, you see it's inserted my product lines within here. I could change the quantities if I wanted to as well from here, and I can add on further products. But really useful for very quickly building sales orders. I'm going to take this a step further, so I'm just going to delete these two lines, and I'm going to use the suggest lines feature again. So this time I'm going to say, let's say a customer would like to reorder the items from a previous sales order. So let's say I've got one prepared already. So I'm going to pull my items from order 101009. You see it's went away, it's found that particular order, it's found the product that was on there, and there was a quantity of 2 on there. So if I choose insert, it's going to insert the line. Now I chose order 101009 for each because I can cycle to the previous record that just so happens to be 101009. And we can see here that product has been added into here. So we've got these features, and this is expanding all of the time throughout the application. Let's dive in and see some further use of AI functionality within Business Central for automating tasks. So another task that we regularly do in the finance world is bank reconciliations, as an example. So I've got a bank reconciliation that's sort of pre-prepared. On the right-hand side, I've got the transactions that have been posted against this particular bank account in Business Central, which are unreconciled. And on the left-hand side, I've got transactions that were on a bank statement, which I've imported into the application. So I've got some transactions here. What we'll see is I've got 3 transactions on this left-hand side that correspond to the 4 transactions on the right-hand side. So just to show you that, we've got some direct matches, and we've got some here, for example, I've got 2 transactions that total the value of one of my particular transactions. If I choose the reconcile with Copilot feature, Copilot's going to run through the transactions and try and match these up, and it's going to suggest the match. So for example, here we've got essentially 3 of my lines have been matched from my bank statement into my own. So we've got an auto match and we've got Copilot matched. So we can see here, it even tells us what some of the transactions are. So for example, this 7,000 transaction that was on my bank statement, you can see it tells me it applies to multiple entries. So if I want to just have some confidence in the match, I can drill in and it's going to show me the level of transactions that it's been matched to. So I can choose to keep it or I can discard it. You see, I've got transactions that are now matched, and all I'm now left with is a transaction on my left-hand side that's on my bank statement that has yet to be posted into Microsoft Dynamics, which I could quickly transfer to a general journal and could post in the application. So I can then match it to a customer record, for example, or directly post it to a GL account. There's a whole host of options here. And again, this is improving all the time. So we're going to start seeing AI be rolled out further. Another neat way of being able to use AI is to actually provide some analysis within this. So what I'm going to jump into here is I'm going to go to my chart of accounts. So this is essentially my accounting list. I've got a view of my balance sheet and my income statement on a single view. And perhaps I want to interrogate a balance. So for example, in my cost of sales, I've got 412k here. Let's drill into it, and it's going to show me every single entry that's ever been posted against that particular GL account. Okay, and traditionally I might have wanted to export this out into Excel to maybe do some data manipulation or analysis of it, but now with Copilot I can actually do an analyze list direct within the application. So for example, within here I have some various cost center type things. So for example, all of my customers are grouped into 3 groups: small, medium and large. Maybe I want to do some interrogation around those particular customer categories. So let's do show general ledger entries grouped by customer code. Customer group code. And what it's going to do is it's going to go away, run through this list of data, and it's then going to summarize them. So it's essentially going to create me almost like a pivot view within the application, without having to extract this to Business Central, to Excel. You can see now I've got a list here that's been suppressed down to my small, medium and large customers. If I expand further, I can actually see that detail. I can even switch to a pivot mode, keep this review, or I can discard it. So again, it's a really neat way of being able to analyze data. And I can actually throw multiple things at it. So I'm just going to switch back to my general ledger entry view and actually ask it to do another analyze list. So let's say maybe I wanted to group by area code and show only transactions for 2024. So I've got some transactions in here which are from 2023. Maybe I don't want them included in my analysis view. I could tell it a certain month if I want to. And this is all natural language. I don't need to know any prompts or anything like that. I can type, and it's it is very intuitive being able to work out what I'm asking it to do. You can see here I've got my area codes. If I expand further, if I just include posting date, which I could have actually asked it to do when I can actually describe the column layouts I would like in my report when I'm doing that type feature of Copilot, you'll see all of my transactions, just with a quick scroll, are all related to 2024. So that's a great view. And it doesn't just have to be on general ledger entries for interrogation. Perhaps I want to look at my items. So these are my products within the application. Again, simply I can do analyze list and show items by grouped by type. So my items have a type and unit of measure. And I'm actually going to put some shorthand in here, UOM, as an acronym of unit of measure. So I sell my products in maybe different things, canisters, pieces, etc. If I click on generate, that's going to run through my product listing and it's going to, again, summarize them for me. So I have two main types, inventory products and service products. If I expand on my inventory products, you'll see it's then subcategorized them into my units of measure. So products that I sell in pieces and products that I sell in cans. Again, it's a real neat tool for analyzing data on the fly. Now, there's more and more coming with the AI within Business Central. This is just the first release that's happened within April. Let me just quickly jump into a feature that's in preview mode. It's available in the US, but is not currently available in Europe. Now, I think this is going to be something that's really neat going forward. This is just Copilot just generally embedded in the application. So, for example, I could say, how do I post a sales credit memo? Or how do I, let's do, how do I create a sales credit memo? So you can now start seeing where some of the value of this AI functionality is maybe you've got some new starters on the app and they want to learn how to use Business Central. They can actually rely on Copilot. It's a bit of a crutch to lean on to actually get up and running on the application. You'll see here it's provided a step-by-step guide on how to create a sales credit memo. And what you'll see is it includes its reference. So you'll see here it's source material. So if they want to, they can click on that source material and learn more. So AI future, there's going to be more and more features added to this as we'll see it expand further, but we're starting to see now automation of tasks and kind of reduction in effort when we're working with Business Central. We're going to pivot from AI for a moment, from Microsoft Copilot, and we're going to have a look at kind of the connection with Microsoft Dynamics with the wider ecosystem of Microsoft products. So let me just discard this. One of the things that I mentioned earlier on is, it's part of the Dynamics 365 product suite. So it integrates with all those Dynamics 365 products like sales, field service, Power Platform, Power Apps, Power Automate, which is really neat for building approval workflows, etc. Power Apps. What we'll look at here is actually integration with other parts of the product suite. So things like Office 365, so like the productivity suite, so things that your teams will be used to working with, Excel, Outlook, Teams that you operate with on a daily basis. For example, let's just jump back into my chart of accounts for a moment, maybe interrogate a GL account here, for example. Let me just switch back out of my pivot view. We have an option up here which share page with other users or other apps. And we have multiple options: open in Excel, edit in Excel, share to Teams, copy link. What we can do is we can actually surface this information direct within Excel. So we click on that, it's going to create an Excel file for me to review and be able to open up and see this page view of the application. Sorry, my Excel didn't open there. We also have the edit in Excel. Now, obviously, that's not available for transactions themselves. Just close this for a moment. So you can see here, these are my transactions exported out. I can, pivot, review, do whatever I need to do with those particular transactions. We'd also have that edit in Excel view. Now, as I said, that's not available to edit transactions, but we can use that to edit master data. So, for example, maybe I want to export a customer list out of the application and update the payment terms en masse. I can do that in Excel, hit publish, and it's going to write that data back to Business Central. So it's a really neat feature. It's been in there for quite some time, so that's nothing particularly new. But if you're new to the Dynamics product suite, it's certainly one where there's a lot of bang for buck. One of the really neat features and a very underused feature is the integration with Microsoft Outlook. So we all work with emails. Maybe we want to integrate Business Central to this, so we can have a nice unified view without moving between applications. Now, for this example, I'm working in the web-based version of Outlook, but this could easily be the desktop installation of Outlook. I'm just doing this for ease of my product demonstration today. So what we have here is an email that's been received in from a customer. In this case, it's from me. I've sent it to Adele, who I'm spoofing at the moment, and it's a request for a quote for some swivel chairs and a conference table. What you'll see is there is an icon that is displayed within the email, in the header of the email, which is Business Central, and I have some options within there. So I have some contact insights. So this is going to just pull up a little browser pane to the right-hand side, pull the information back from here. This is going to provide instant insights without leaving Outlook. So, for example, I can see what the customer balance is, and I can see previous order history, ongoing sales orders. I can see what the credit limit is, for example, from here. The customer's got a 14k credit limit, and I don't have to leave Outlook to be able to do this. So I'm not jumping between different applications. I can click on that balance, for example, and it's going to show me more information there. I can explore further. Maybe I'm interested in previous orders that we've done, so maybe I want to look at sales orders, posted sales invoices, and I can review that level of information here, and I can jump down and interrogate these further. So it's kind of neat. We also, though, can take this a step further. So this customer has asked for a sales quote. So I could build a sales quote from here, and you'll see I've got an option of new, and I've got different things to do here. So it doesn't just have to be customers I work with. I can work with vendors too. So you can see I can create like purchase orders, etc. But this particular customer would like a sales quote. And the system's going to be really neat here, because what it's going to do is it's going to screen scrape. It's going to read that email. And because the customer asked specifically for a Mexico swivel chair and an Antwerp conference table, it's gone through that, and it's actually found those particular products and services, what's needed of them, even the quantity, and I can choose to add those to a sales quote, and I can start building a sales quote from here. Again, if I'm in the Outlook version of this, I can make this the desktop version of this. I can make this window a bit bigger so it's easier to work with. So again, without leaving Business Central, I can create this sales quote. Without leaving Outlook, I can create this sales quote. If I was to go into Business Central itself, and I'll use the Tell Me search to navigate to sales quotes, we'll start seeing that's that sales quote there in particular, 1007 that we're creating on the fly in Outlook. So that's all automatically updated in Business Central. So it's great. We don't have to hop about and jump between applications. So that productivity integration is incredibly neat. And again, we can take this a step further. Perhaps we want to, for example, this customer had quite a hefty credit limit, and maybe I don't necessarily agree with it, and I want some of my colleagues to jump and take a look at it. Perhaps I want to share that with them. So what I could do is I could, again, click on my share option, and I've got some options. I've got share to Teams or copy link, and both will work here. So for example, if I choose the copy link, and if I migrate to Microsoft Teams, bear with me. Sorry, it's just hiding behind my browser banner at the top. So I could say, hi both, please can you review the credit limits for this customer? Seems a little high to me. Paste in my link. What we'll see here is, you'll see I haven't even hit post yet, but you can see it's surfaced the details in this Teams conversation. Now, my colleagues and I from here can collaboratively work on this. So I can click on details, and without leaving Teams, again, notice I'm using the browser-based version, but this could easily be the desktop. My colleagues can review this record. So perhaps, yes, they do agree that credit limit, 14k is excessive. Let's change this to 10,000. As soon as I tab out that field, that record is saved. If I was to navigate back to Business Central, and if I was just to refresh the page, you'll see that credit limit has been updated to 10,000. So it's a great way of being able to work collaboratively with my colleagues. Next up, I'm going to show you another way that we can actually work with this. So let's do, for example, we had that sales order that we were creating on the fly. Maybe I want one of my colleagues input into that particular sales order. So again, choose that, copy link, or let's show you the share to Teams feature. This is going to pop up. I'm probably not too familiar with the Teams site because it's Microsoft pre-hydrated demo content. Again, it's taking a minute to load, but I can type in and I can start saying I want to share this with a particular channel. So yeah, I can say let's choose to share it with a Sales East channel. Include the message. Can you review and update quantities as per customer requirements? I can share that then to Teams. Just jump back to Teams for a moment. Again, apologies, my got a ribbon across the top of the page. That's just making it slightly difficult for me. If I jump back, start going to my Teams itself, jump into Sales East, you can see that details here has been surfaced within here. And again, I can click on this, update the quantities, etc. Work within Microsoft Teams and not have to leave this application. So I could have shared this to a channel or particular colleagues for them to work with, and you'll see you've still got that full breadth of functionality. It's not reduced. They can use Copilot to update the sales lines as needed, etc. I think that's a different record, or is it? Oh, no, was that one? Yeah, apologies. They can interrogate further, so they can see ongoing sales, all that useful information. And again, you're not working across the disparate suite of applications, so it's a really neat way to do. So that's the productivity integrations with Microsoft. Now, again, cognizant of time, don't want to time box out today. I'm going to just move on from there now to how to move away from legacy applications like on-premise solutions. First off, I'm just going to very quickly navigate to, sorry, bear with me. Migration. So at Codec, from our experiences, we've developed repeatable cloud migration accelerators, which can be used to get your business operational on Business Central really quickly. For those who are maybe looking to move away from legacy Microsoft solutions as Great Plains or GP, as it's known, or Navision, we've got specific tools around this cloud migration where we can actually grab your information and import it directly into Business Central. There is a little bit more to it because, if we're taking wholesale all of the functionality that you've maybe had developed, then we need to do a code conversion. But if you're maybe just migrating some data across, for example, and you want to target that data, that's fine. We know companies that have been operating on legacy platforms for several years. So our tooling allows us to be selective with the data that we migrate. So, for example, we can exclude inactive records or we can target data from specific periods onwards. So we only migrate what's relevant. And utilizing these accelerators, Codec can manage that migration from on-premise to cloud in a shorter time frame. For those who are maybe not on a Dynamics GP or Nav and they want to do migration, again, we've got some accelerated tools that help us get there very quickly. And all of this, all of our approaches are closely governed by our robust project management methodology, which operates in line with Microsoft recommended practices. So we have a whole host of suites and offerings that we can use and leverage to actually get you, quickly onto this product and operational in a shorter time frame. Therefore, it means a shorter cost to you. So that's great. That's kind of the end of the product demonstration. I'll touch on very quickly supporting Business Central as a whole, and then I will hand back over to Laura. So Codec provide support offerings for Business Central, which is t-shirt size to the needs of your organizations. Laura, I think, has a bit more detail on this and a couple of examples of our support offerings. But again, these can be changed to meet the needs and requirements of your individual organizations. Thank you.
Thanks, David. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, perfect.
Perfect. So let me move on. So There's just some of our examples of codec support offerings. We do have a very mature, fully managed service, providing comprehensive and flexible support packages that cover all of your Business Central needs. It's a menu option, allowing you to pick and choose which options are relevant and the right fit for your business. We can provide you with technical support, Microsoft biannual updates, proactive monitoring, troubleshooting, plus ongoing training and guidance. And we always ensure for our customers that any issues or queries are resolved quickly and effectively. So that's just a quick flavour of what support options we can do and give to you as a business. Thank you for joining today. If you've got any questions, please have put my LinkedIn and David's LinkedIn in the chat box. Please feel free to reach out if you want a more detailed demonstration or have any further questions, just let us know.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, I think it's just worth coming on there. Yeah, if people do want those individual demonstrations, or if they've got particular problems or issues in their organization or challenges that they're looking to resolve, if you let us know, we can actually tailor a demonstration to meet those needs. So, for example, maybe you're interested in looking at AP automation because you've got accounts payable clerks with heavy workloads. We can build a demo that has that OCR technology that would demonstrate there, so you'll be able to see the kind of the breadth and width of the functionality of Business Central. But just let us know, and we'll be happy to help.
Thanks for joining.
Thanks.
Bye bye.
Take care.